Call of Duty Zombies, a game mode that evolved from a humble hidden minigame into a full-blown phenomenon with a massive fan base. You look at Zombies today with its complex map layouts and gameplay mechanics and compare it to those first frantic nights in that creepy little bunker, you gotta wonder, how did we get here? Well, to help us answer that question, we need to go all the way back to the beginning. The Zombies franchise began with remarkable simplicity. The original map, Nacht der Untoten, took place in a small World War II bunker. All it contained was 3 rooms, a few weapons on the wall, and a mysterious wooden box. Sure, this list of features seems simple now, but it succeeded at delivering a strong atmosphere to players right from the start. That cramped little bunker and foggy environment, combined with the unlimited waves of relentless undead, was truly genre-defining. It was pure, simple, zombie survival fun. But here is the crazy part. The Zombies franchise, in reality, was an accidental success. Call of Duty World at War, announced in June of 2008, was set to include some post-campaign content, a concept that Treyarch had experimented with in previous titles. In CoD 4, there was a simple bonus mission unlocked after finishing the main story. Players were put against the clock to clear out an airplane and save a hostage's life. But this time around, they wanted something more substantial, something that players would want to keep coming back to. Struggling for ideas for post-campaign content, developer Jesse Snyder found inspiration in a simple flash game called The Last Stand, a wave-based zombie survival game with some fairly simple upgrade mechanics. But this sparked an idea for a similar mode in World at War. Call of Duty World at War was released. The game was already much darker and grittier than previous entries, but that wasn't the only aspect of the game that players would come to love. Upon finishing the campaign, players were greeted with one extra surprise, a seemingly simple arcade mode with only one goal: survive. And they loved it. The blend of horror, strategy, and frantic co-op gameplay was something completely new. Plus, the heavy contrast it had compared to the traditional Call of Duty identity made Nazi zombies spread like wildfire. Activision knew they had something unique and began thinking of ways they could continue supporting it. With each of World at War's multiplayer DLC packs, they tacked on a new Zombies map. Each map brought a new area to explore and new mechanics that added layers of complexity. We got Verrucht, the terrifying asylum where you had to restore power to the building, which gave you access to the new Perca-Colas. These magical sodas would provide immediate powerful boosts to players for the first time. Next was Shi no Numa, a dark, foggy swamp that stepped up the difficulty quite a bit. Zombies were no longer the player's only worry, as intense hellhounds would spawn during special rounds that always ended with a max ammo drop. These unique rounds, new traps, and the addition of a new system where a random Perca-Cola machine would spawn in certain regions of the map made for a challenging and engaging experience. And then we got Der Riese. This map is truly legendary. It took everything that worked from previous maps, refined it, and added a game changer: the Pack-a-Punch machine. Goodbye were the days of constantly buying new weapons to make up for those waves of high-round bullet sponges. Okay, maybe those days weren't completely gone, but Pack-a-Punch did allow for upgrading your weapon's damage for the first time. This map is considered by many to be the strongest of the original 4, laying the groundwork for the Zombies experience that we know and love. And in addition, Der Riese brought back a fan favorite: the awesomely strange, high-powered wonder weapons. These weren't just powerful weapons, they were game changers. If you wanted to make it past high rounds, you almost needed a wonder weapon. The ray gun with its explosive blasts and iconic sound effects. And of course, the Wonder Waff with its chaining electricity provided invaluable crowd control in those tight situations. But as zombies evolved, so did the wonder weapons and how we used them. With the release of Black Ops, Activision started tweaking and polishing the gameplay. Wonder weapons became more complex and tied into the ever-expanding Zombies storyline. While the first few Black Ops 1 maps felt pretty similar to World at War, things started to change as we went from a creepy theater to the vast expanse of the moon. While battling low oxygen, zero gravity, and new enemy types, wonder weapons became crucial for solving puzzles and unlocking secrets that we will discuss a bit later. But after Black Ops 1's success, Activision cemented zombies as a core aspect of the Call of Duty experience, releasing 3 more entries. Black Ops 2 introduced the workbench for crafting items and experimented with dynamic maps like Transit, where you had to navigate a massive map using a constantly moving bus. And who could forget when the franchise led us to the terror-ridden corridors of Alcatraz? Mob of the Dead's setting amplified the horror atmosphere with unique features and awesome wonder weapons. And Advanced Warfare, while more futuristic, its zombies modes still capture the core of what makes the series so great. Then came Black Ops 3, which would polish and innovate the game mode even further. The addition of gobblegums and a balanced specialist system really allowed you to tweak your playstyle in ways that weren't possible before. Whether you were fighting in the grungy streets of the 1940s or a snowy Nazi castle, these unique mechanics and complex maps added another layer of depth to the series. With the release of Infinite Warfare came the first theme changes we saw in the Zombies franchise. The tone shift from horror to comedy-like cinema disrupted the traditional vibe we were so used to. While there were some cool ideas, like an eccentric music festival themed map, nothing quite captured the magic like Zombies in Spaceland. Taking place in a 1980s amusement park, it had a very different vibe than what we were used to, but it was surely something special. The over-the-top gameplay and just the sense that Infinity Ward wasn't taking the Zombies mode too seriously was a breath of fresh air. Plus, the addition of the Director, a character that would speak to the players throughout the rounds and seemingly change up gameplay on a whim, added a lot of replayability. As with any great story, there are ups and there are downs, and Call of Duty Zombies is no different. Despite its incredible run, it couldn't maintain its peak forever. With the franchise returning to the World War II era for the first time since World at War, the announcement of Zombies returning to its roots generated a lot of hype. But this time around, the game mode just fell flat. It really just lacked the innovation of previous titles. The developers also leaned much more into the horror aspect of the game, which at face value doesn't sound like a bad thing, but when compared to its more fantastical and action-packed predecessors, the reception was just, well, let's just say it wasn't great. And then came Black Ops 4, a game that was generally well received. Unfortunately, the praise did not come from a strong Zombies game mode. The introduction of Blackout, a new Battle Royale mode, was the star of the show, and seemingly took a lot of resources away from Zombies. On top of that, they attempted to expand on the specialist system introduced in Black Ops 3. They were just way too overpowered and overtuned in this version of Zombies, which ultimately trivialized the challenging survival aspect that fans enjoyed. But unfortunately, World War II and Black Ops 4 was just the beginning of a rough patch for Zombies fans. Vanguard and its attempt at an open region zombie game just didn't work. The decision to change the tried and true round-based formula to a more objective-based one was not well received at all. Ultimately, the world just felt empty, the objectives were repetitive, and to add insult to injury, there was no main Easter egg at launch. This was a crime to the Zombies community. Easter eggs not only give fans a challenge to work through, they uncover the mysteries of the ongoing story of the Call of Duty Zombies universe. These hidden storylines, these intricate puzzles and challenges are a huge part of what makes Zombies so special. Sure, some of us just want to blast zombies and have fun, but for many others, cracking these complex Easter eggs is the ultimate Zombies experience. While some small story elements, like radio messages, existed in World at War, the first truly complex Easter egg appeared in the map Ascension in Black Ops 1. Players were required to activate power stations, collect intel, and interact with various elements of the map's environment. And in return, they would gain powerful rewards, as well as uncovering another layer of this deep Zombies narrative. And as players craved more from the zombie storyline, their hunger for more intricate Easter eggs grew. These hidden quests became a core part of the Zombies' identity, so you could imagine the disappointment when Vanguard launched without one, a huge letdown for a large portion of the dedicated fanbase. Unfortunately, Modern Warfare 3 stuck with the open world Zombies formula. Not that many of us were holding out high hopes for a good Modern Warfare Zombies mode, and to be fair, it did offer more diverse objectives and improved gameplay compared to Vanguard. It still felt like just something was missing. But there was one bright spot during these years that were so riddled with letdowns. Through all the experimental failures, Cold War emerged as a shining example of what Zombies could still be. It wasn't just a return to round-based, it was a refinement. Weapon rarities added depth, perk progressions gave us something to strive for, and the focus on core gameplay made every round engaging. The developers also took the specialist system, which was so poorly received from Black Ops 4, and changed it into a strategic field upgrade system. This revamped system restored the balance and challenge that we so craved, all while still allowing players more control over the role they played within their party. But with the immediate departure from this winning formula in subsequent CoD titles, the question remained, was Cold War a fleeting success or signs of things to come? It was official. The weapon rarities, perk upgrades, the exfil system, Black Ops 6 Zombies was a true successor to Cold War. There was something for every player to enjoy in both Terminus and Liberty Falls. Plus, the new Omni movement system added even more excitement when breaking free from the zombie hordes, making all the chaos more exciting than ever. In addition, the game released with complex Easter eggs on both maps. It didn't take long for fans to declare that Black Ops 6 was a return to form. So, what's next? The back-to-back successes of this Cold War Black Ops 6 style of zombies suggest that Treyarch might stick to this formula for the foreseeable future. But as gamers, I think it's important for us to relax, grab a drink, and just enjoy the thrill of surviving one more run.